Hi everybody, this is Michelle with Creative Operation. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the Trick or Treat Treasure Team. We're doing a collaboration with a bunch of amazing artists and we are going to have some really great projects for you for the next 4 weeks. We're starting today, September 28th, and we're going to have a themed project for you for all of the weeks that we're doing this. So today, what we're going to do is a card theme. So real quick, I will go through the card that I made for you today. This is one that I designed, and then we're going to make one together, and then I have a list down below in the description of all of the collaborators who are in this project. Please go visit their websites and check out what they've done. So we have a bunch of really great things to show you, and I'm super excited. So again, this is the Trick or Treat Treasure Team, and this is a collaboration. We're just using stuff from our stash, and we're just coming to you weekly with a project or two. So this is a card. Again, the theme is cards, and the package that I am using is paper that I've had in my stash for a couple of years. And let me grab the cover sheet out of the pack. This is Simple Stories, and it is called Simple Vintage October 31st. It's a great collection. I bought it when it came out, and I bought a lot of it, and then, of course, didn't use a whole lot. So I'm going to try during this particular project to use up this. So this will tie into my hashtag crafty goals and hashtag smash your stash. So this ought to be a lot of fun. So again, this is Simple Stories, Simple Vintage October 31st, and it was put out in 2022. So it is a couple years old. But again, any paper collection you have in your stash, that's part of the thing, is use what's in your stash. So again, I bought this a while ago and really never used a whole lot of it. So I came up with this card design. I think it's kind of cute, and I want to go through it with you. So it is a 5x7 card, and it does have a ribbon closure, because you'll see when we get on the inside, there's a couple extra little goodies in there. I did decorate the front with some chipboard stickers. So I just layered this cute little witch, and it says Ghosts and Goblins, and then the pumpkin behind. On the front, so I wanted to mention that I did design this card to use your Cutaparts. So the 3x4s, the 4x4s, the 4x6s that you get in your kits, that's what I designed this to use. So this will use several of those things. So again, another stash buster. So the front, I used a 3x4 Cutapart. I backed it on some black cardstock. And then I have these cute little spider webs. Can you see those cute little acetate spider webs? So a friend of mine, Sheila, gifted me some amazing acetate that has different it's all spider web theme, and I have some gold and some black. So I took some of it. I wanted to try to incorporate that into all my projects for the next 4 weeks. And I've got one that's really cool that you're going to love. But anyway, that's coming up. Stay tuned, subscribe and like, and then you'll get notified. Okay, so anyways, I used this particular square. I wanted to see if it would work, and I backed it on a full piece of double-sided tape. And this double-sided tape is from my stash, and it is actually from Recollections. I bought that, and I put it on the back of this and burnished it down really good, and then I fussy cut around it, and I'll show you that in a minute. But what I ended up getting was some cute little spider webs to add a little bit of bling to the front of the card, and then it also ties into the ribbon I have had in my stash forever that has little spider webs on it. Okay, I did put a little chipboard bat here, and it's just super cute. Okay, so there's the front, there's the back. I used the same paper on the front and the back, and then I put a little sticker here from the collection. It says Spooky. It's one of those little tickets. Then it opens up, and this is the fun part. So it opens up like this, and you've got this full page here. You can customize this card any way you want. You could put photos in here and send pictures of your kids to grandma and grandpa. You can take pictures of grandma and grandpa dressed up and send it to your grandkids. So, which in my case, that's probably what we're going to do. So I love Halloween. You guys know that. Put another little spider web up here, but you could put a nice photo here. You could also put a card, to go ahead and write on here. I did a cluster of the paper ephemera here that says sweet, and a couple hearts, and then this cute little witch in the pumpkin. Isn't that adorable? I love it. And then here's where we're going to use a lot of the Cutaparts. So we did use one here, and then I used one here. It has this beautiful picture of the black cats. Then this opens up. You have another one here, and then I put a little piece of the cardstock ephemera that says Wicked Good here. And then here is a 4x6 Cutapart. You open it up. Now, I didn't have a lot of vertical 4x6 Cutapart, so this is where you can just use your pattern paper. And then here is a pocket here, and I used one of the 4x6 Cutaparts, and then we created a pocket. It's glued on 3 sides. It's really easy, but you could stick, you know, like a gift card in there. You could stick money in there, you know, whatever you wanted to do, a little tag. But I did want to use this Cutapart because you could write here and do your, you write your greeting to the recipient. And then it just, you know, folds and folds. Now you could also fold it like this if you wanted to, whichever way you like, and then it closes up and it ties. It's really easy. It's really fun to put together, and it does use up, you know, your scraps and whatnot. So let's go ahead. I'm going to tie this up, and then let's get started with the tutorial. You don't need a whole lot, and I didn't write anything down. I'm sorry about that. I'll tell you in the video how big everything is, and then I'll have a list down below of the stuff that you need, okay? So first of all, you need some cardstock, and I've already got it prepared. I've already got my pieces picked out and inked and everything, so I'm trying to make this fast and easy for you. I am using my Tim Holtz Vintage Photo Distress ink for this, so I did already kind of pre-ink everything. So the first piece you're going to need, since it's a 5x7 card, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 10x7, and you're going to score it on the 10 at 5, okay? So first part done. Second piece you are going to need is a piece that is 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. You're going to score this at 1/2 with the 4 3/4 at the top, okay? Then you're going to need a piece that is 7 1/2 by 4 1/4, 7 1/2 at the top, score at 3 1/4, and that's all you need to do for that. And then you're done with your scoring. All of the papers that I chose, I have cut 1/4 of an inch smaller than the piece that it's covering, okay? So I'm going to fold and burnish this 7x10 piece to make my 5x7 card, okay? And then, so that means that the front of my card is going to be 5x7. So I cut these here at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, okay? So I'm going to put some glue on here. This is the front of my card, so I'm just going to glue this down. This part's easy peasy. And then we'll turn it to the back and we'll add our ribbon. So I had a large piece of ribbon that I just cut into 4s. So let me, I'll measure that for you. So we have our front of our card covered. That's the first step. So this is about 9 inches long, the piece that I cut off. So I had about 1 yard of ribbon, and I just cut it into 4, and they're at 9 inches. So I'm going to take my card, that's the front, turn it over to the back, and you're going to need your ruler and some score tape. And if I could find the end of it here, we're going to center this, which should be at 3 1/2. My card is not very straight. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. That's more better. All right. So 3 1/2. I'm going to put a little piece of score tape there. Move it on over. Put a little piece of score tape here. I'm not going to go crazy with how far in I put my ribbon because it is only 9 inches long, and I want to make sure that it ties, you know, a nice bow. So I'm only going in about 1/2 inch-ish or so. Okay, so I'm going to glue those down. So that's done. And then we'll go ahead and just glue the back of the card right over that. Okay, did I forget to ink this one? I sure as heck did. I inked that one. Good gravy, Michelle. Well, you know, there you go. So I just lightly ink the edges just to get that white from the cutting, you know, the middle of the paper off of it. Then I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And you don't have to use wet glue. You can use, you know, score tape if you want, whatever works for you. Okay. So I'm going to lay this down. And since it's 1/4 inch smaller, so again, this is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, you're going to have a nice border all the way around, about 1/8 inch. Okay. Depending on how well your cutter cuts, right? All right, so that part's done. Now the next thing that we need to do on the inside, the next step is to grab your piece that is 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. And we scored that at 1/2. And what you're going to do is just fold and burnish that score line, okay? Then we'll grab our scissors and we'll go ahead and miter that 1/4 or that 1/2 inch, like so. And then we're going to just glue this down to the inside of the card on this edge. Now we are going to center this, so I'm going to grab my ruler again. So the center of my 7-inch card, here's my center, 3 1/2 inches. I'm going to put glue on that 1/2 inch tab. I'm going to turn it over, so we're gluing the tab to the side here. And we are going to line this up at 3 1/8, okay? So you're going to have about 3/8 between the top, edge of this and the top of the card. All right. Okay, that's done. The next thing we're going to do is grab the papers for the inside of the card, for the main body of the card. Okay. So again, glue those down. It's a fun card to do. And I love the fact that it uses up a lot of your Cutaparts, because a lot of times there's so many that you don't end up using them all. And this is a great way to use them. Now, if you don't have Cutaparts, you know, or you don't have the right ones like I had to do, use patterned paper. Make your own. So, but I like the fact that you could use the Cutaparts. So that's why I kind of have the idea for this. And you get a lot these days, you know, they're giving you 3x4s, 4x6s, and 4x4s. So I wanted to see if I could figure out how to use them all in one fell swoop. Okay. All right. So that's done. Next thing to do is grab this piece here. This is the 7 1/2 by 4 1/4. We scored it at 3 1/4. And we're going to go ahead and fold on that score line. Okay, so we have our little 3x4 flap, and then we have the 4 by, or actually it's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. This is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So then grab your punch board. I did a little punch because it's going to be a pocket. And since this is 4 1/4, this panel here, we're going to line it up so that score is at 2 1/8. Okay. And we're going to punch. That's going to make that notch for our gift card or our money or whatever you decide to put in there. And then when I did it so that it lined up at the bottom flush. You can raise it up and put it center if you want. It, you know, it's whatever works for you, but we are going to center it in the middle of this, but we're going to line up the edge of it so that when this is all lined up kind of at the bottom. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to just fold this over so I can see it easier. And then I'm going to just put glue on 3 sides. Like so. And then I'm going to turn it sideways just so I can see it. And I'm going to visualize this. And actually what you can do is grab a pencil and just draw a line, whoop, like at the edge, so you have kind of a visual of where to put it, okay? So it's going to go right there, and trying to center it best I can. There we go. Okay. I got it a little bit crooked. There we go. Okay, let's try that. I'm using art glitter glue, which I really love, and it gives you a wee second before it does catch. Erase my pencil mark. Okay. Now make sure that you don't have glue seeping out on the edge where you don't want it. Okay. So there you go. You have your pocket, and then this will close, and then this will close. Okay. I'm going to erase that errant mark there. Okay. So now it's just a matter of decorating, which is really fun. Okay. So I have my papers all ready to go. This one is going to go on the front cover, so I haven't glued that down yet, but I'm going to put that off to the side. So then I have my piece for the front, and I'm just going to glue that down. And again, this is just a 3x4 cut apart. So we're going to put that here. Okay, open the page. I've got another 3x4 cut apart. And again, you can always just use pattern paper. You can make your own cut aparts. You can cut a piece of 3x4 pattern paper and then use stickers or the paper ephemera packs. Have lots of things. You can make your own. So the choice is yours, and you can, customize whatever paper collection you're using, to what you're doing. So this is a 4x6 cut apart. In this particular kit, I only had two vertical ones. And so I used one for the other card that I showed you, and I'm going to use this one for this one. And then that's why I used pattern paper on the opposite side. Now on the opposite side, again, you could, if you're sending this to Grandma and Grandpa, you could put pictures of the kids all dressed up in their Halloween goodies, and send that to Grandma and Grandpa. And I know from experience, because I am a grandma, that we love it. So we love this kind of thing. All right, so there's that, and then you'll open that up, and then we have this bit that's going to go here. And again, this is just 4x6. So far we've used, including the front, 3 of the 3x4 cut aparts. And then we've used 2 pieces that are 4x6. So I used 1 cut apart and 1 piece of pattern paper. If you have 2 cut aparts that will work, that is great. Okay, and then we've got this one. Now, I did not have another 4x4 cut apart that had a place to do some writing. So this was actually a 6x4 cut apart that I just cut off at 4. Okay, so I just cut off the left side. And then what I did was, so I cut it at 4x4, and then I put it in my punch board. I lined it up because it's 4 inches. I lined it up at 2, punched the middle, and that gave me my little tab shape. And that should line up with the tab on the pocket perfectly. Okay, so that's where I can write my sentiment here. Write my message. Okay, got a little bit too much glue there. And there you go. Okay, so there's our little pocket ready to go. Put whatever you want in there. All right, so that is that. That'll cover like that. And then here is our cover piece. So we have, now you can see why I put the ribbon on it to close it, because it is a little bit full on the inside, but it's totally worth it. That's for sure. Totally worth it. So this is a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece that I'm using to back my little cut apart for the front. And you can use any cut apart you want up here. You could use a, again, piece pattern paper or just stickers or whatever you want. I'm going to put it more up to the top here because when I tie the bow, I still want the boo to you to show. Okay. So glue on the back here. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball where that is going to go. So it's going to be a little bit higher than the other one, but that's okay, right? like so. Okay. So then let's look at our pieces that I picked out. So I chose to have this cute little cluster of chipboard stickers right here. So I've got the little guys with their pumpkins and their ghost outfits, and I backed another pumpkin on there. These are chipboard, and then the eek chipboard. And you can see they're layered. So I ended up layering some little foam dots on the back to make it all level. So for example, this one that's on the top here, I needed to put a stack of two on there to make it even with the one that's going to be flush with the book. I hope that makes sense. So then I use these. This one here only needed one to make it flush because it's the one in the middle. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. So then I'm just going to take the tapes off. And then this is a chipboard sticker. So let's grab the backing off of that. And then I'm going to put a dot of glue on each of the foam dots just because I really want to make sure that this doesn't come apart. Whoop! And I'm going to drop it too because I always have to drop something, right? Now, I think what I'm going to do is I did the other one kind of off center. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do this one off center too. I like that. Put it down just a little bit, like so. Okay. And then I do want to use some more spider web, I think, right in here. Maybe not up here because I'll cover up my little witch. But I might do a little one up here maybe, and then one down here. So let's see what we've got here. Let's grab my scissors, and I'm going to just cut it out. So all I'm doing is just cutting around that gold. So again, I backed it with double-sided tape, and I did the whole area so that you don't see it through the transparency once you get it cut out and stick it on. That's pretty important to do. You can't just use like one little thing to stick these down. You kind of have to do the whole thing. So, and then you have to try to pick the backing off, which is always fun. All right. So then I'm going to just put this, I think, right here in the corner, and that will add a little bling. And like I said, this was gifted to me by my friend Sheila, and I love them. And I really think that it adds a little touch of fun. And I'm going to be using this in all of my projects. So yeah, now let's figure out where the next piece is going to come from. Because I want to put a little bit up here too. I just want a little bit of something. So let's cut, I think we're going to cut this one out. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do. Probably going to have to trim it a little bit. That's okay. Okay, so I want this to go in the corner. Oh, that might actually work out just perfect. Look at that. Oh, I like it. It's not even covering the witch. Okay, cool. That's going to work. Okay, so take the backing off. And I'm going to just put this in the corner on the pattern paper. And it will kind of cover that front and give a little pop of bling right there. Okay. Beautiful. I love this. What do you think? I love that. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, inside of the card. I went ahead and I really wanted to use this little guy. He's riding a pumpkin and it says too cute to spook. I added a little star and the little heart there. And again, I just layered them together, a cluster of these paper ephemera pieces. And I'm just going to put that down at the bottom. And I'm going to do him right in the middle, I think. I think he's so cute. So cute. Okay. And then I thought maybe, you know, another spider web up in the corner. So let's pick some spider web. Let's do let's do this. I'm thinking. Ooh, let's do this. Okay. So I'm just kind of strategically trying to cut out my little spider webbies here. Aren't they pretty? I just love them. Thank you, Sheila. I know you're watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. I love them. All right. And okay. So I got that one. Let's go ahead and get that backing off. So I'll put that in the corner, just lining it up on the edge of the pattern paper. Okay. And then burnishing it down, making sure that it gets a good stick. Okay. Yes, love it. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is, let's look at this and this. I think what I'm going to do, I got this spooky good, so I'm going to put that up here. Again, this is a really good spot to put a photo. So I'm going to put that here. Okay. And then, oh, I forgot my little bat on the front. I wanted another little bat. So I think I'm going to put him like right there. Yeah, I like that. I forgot. Little chipboard bat I really wanted to use. I just layer him right here. Like so. All right. And there's that. Okay. So you can, you know, do as much or as little as you want, but I was trying to get it kind of, you know, the same as the other card. Last thing I want to do is something on the back. So I'm going to put Scary Sweet here. And this was one of the paper ephemeras as well. Like so. All right. So that is my card. That is my card. So this is my, I don't know what to call it. Maybe I'll call it my use your Cutaparts card for lack of a better thing. So this will tie. So you have a pretty little bow here. And then on the front, we've got the acetate spider webs here and here. We have our cute little chipboard bat. It says boo to you. We've got our little chipboard pieces here. Then it opens up. You've got a cute place for a photo. You've got your 3x4 Cutaparts. You got a 4x6 Cutapart. And then you've got a place for a 4x4 Cutapart. And then you also have a pocket to put a gift card or money or anything else you would like to stick in there. Tickets to something fun for Halloween, maybe? Yes. So that is my tutorial. I'm really glad you stopped by to check it out. Again, this is for the Trick or Treat Treasure Team. And this is a 4-week collab that we're doing. And I will see you next week. Next week will be fun. All of us doing the collaboration will be working on an album, a mini album or a folio. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Stay crafty and stay scary. See you soon. Bye-bye.